start.
Good morning, friends, and a very happy good morning for the Sunday. Today we are here on a very interesting webinar, which is on an equally interesting topic called how to become a better photographer. First of all, let me thank ICICI Bank for this lovely initiative called Live Your Passion. It's an amazing initiative by ICICI Bank wherein people who want to pursue their passion, who want to go ahead with their passion, it's a very good platform, and I would request everyone to log on to their site on Live Your Passion and check whatever passion you have and pursue your interest in that. So to begin with, let me introduce myself. My name is Ashutosh Shinde. I am based out of Mumbai and banker as a professional and photographer as a passion. So I've been doing photography, especially wildlife photography and nature conservation photography from last 4 years, and it has been wonderful journey so far. People always ask me as to what is the journey so far, how it has been, and let me tell you that continuous practice and continuous handholding from my mentors. I am very much thankful to all my mentors. So that has helped me a lot, and photography, as you know, that it's not a process where you will finish your learning in some stipulated time. It's a continuous process. So I'm still learning, and so far it has been a great journey. So friends, let me begin with this very interesting session called how to become a better photographer. The term better photographer itself is a very interesting, and you must have seen that there are in today's day many people who want to pursue their hobby in photography, and they are doing so very passionately, and I would always encourage them that the passion should not die and they should live it to the longest. First of all, thanks again to all the viewers, because even before the webinar start, I am already having lots of questions from all the participants. So I will try my level best to answer each one of them, not completely, but I'll try my level best to finish all the questions and give you the best answer as the best of my ability. Now, if you can see your slide, it says want to become a photographer. You must have that question. The presentation and the webinar is about how to become a better photographer. And is there any typo on this slide? No, there is no typo. So let me tell you, friends, to become a better photographer, you first need to be a good photographer. You need to be a photographer first. So what you should do in that particular process of becoming a photographer? First of all, I want to ask you as to why you want to take this passion, why you want to do photography. Is it something that you want to do it from the bottom of your heart, or is it something that, like we see many films like Three Idiots, where a hero is trying to pursue his passion into wildlife photography. I have seen many people who turn into a wildlife photographer after that particular movie. But is it something that you want to do it on your own, or is it something that you are getting carried away with the trend? So I'll request that if you are taking up this particular passion, then do it very seriously. And it's an amazing thing. It might be any kind of photography. You will just love it if you do it to the fullest and from the bottom of your heart. Many times I get questions from my friends, my colleagues, that I want to buy DSLR. I want to become a photographer. Before suggesting them which DSLR they should buy, I immediately ask them as to why do you want to buy DSLR? Do you know what is DSLR, or do you know that there are other options also available in the market? What is that something which is forcing you to buy DSLR? So we will look at this topic in detail once we proceed further. Second thing, people I see, people who want to take this up as a passion, who want to start up their career, or who want to be a photographer, they are very much fascinated by this long lens and big lenses, and the first thing that I see on their page, or I see on their Facebook timeline, is them standing with the camera, standing with the big lens, and posing for the posing to become a photographer. So let me tell you that it's not that you will become a photographer overnight. It's a very I would not say tough, but it's very complicated journey, and you have to do it with bottom of your heart. Otherwise, you will not be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So, first of all, it is not overnight process. You will not become photographer overnight. It requires a lot of passion. It requires a lot of dedication. It requires a lot of commitment. Now, again, when I see people holding their cameras, people holding their DSLR, the only thing which they know is the auto mode. Now, this particular session, I hope it will at least make you come out of that auto mode, and you will start evaluating other options also. Now, as we proceed further, I want to tell you that what are the types of photography in the market? What is the current trend which is going on in the market, and what all equipments there are available in the market, and how should actually begin with it? Is there any guideline? Is there any specific process which is there, or are there any written rules for it? Then I would say that there are no written rules for anything unless you actually work towards it. So to begin, what are the types of photography we have? There are many types of photography. If I generalize them in a very specific thing, I would say that to begin with, it's my own interest and it's my own passion. I would say that if I put it on the first, the wildlife and nature photography is one type of photography. Under wildlife, again, you have different types like macro photography, your mammals, your birds, then other nature photography. And the second and the most popular type of photography is street and people photography. It's very interesting type of photography wherein you actually venture out, you go in a normal. You can do these kind of photography on your daily routine, daily course of like if you go, if suppose you are staying in, if you are working in a North Bombay kind of area, South Bombay kind of area, and you see a lot of people going around, a lot of people busy in their daily work schedule. So you always have a better chance to capture all those candid moments, and that is why I guess these days I've seen people more working into that genre of photography. Second is fashion photography, a very glamorous and very attractive photography for many newbies. I would say that this photography requires a lot of technical knowledge, not that other photography genre do not require it. But this particular photography has some other level of intricacies also involved, because these are all commercial kind of photographies, and then you need to have your basic understanding about the photography in place for that. Second is wedding and event photography. Very glamorous, I would say, along with the fashion photography, and it is coming up very fast, and it is very rapidly. These days I see, if I go out in since I'm from Bombay, there is a place called Bandhavali Sailing. It's one of the most scenic. You can see on the slide the photograph which is there. It is from the bandstand area of Bandhavali Sailing, and many people come there on weekdays, on weekend to do photo shoots. So I see many people pursuing their hobby in this particular genre of photography, where they do wedding, they do event photography, they do pre-wedding shoots, they do couple shoots. Very interesting photography, and I would say that you can always use your own French contacts. Not that you will not get those assignments at the beginning, but yes, you can use your friends' contacts, your relatives, and you can always try your hands in that particular photography. The next part, which is purely commercial, is your product shoot, your food photography, your architectural photography, your industrial photography, and corporate shoots. These kind of photography is again a very commercial, and you will not see. It is not widely spoken about, but yes, it is a very interesting kind of photography, which is most of the time it is done in a confined environment, in a very controlled environment, and a very good area again to explore. The last is sports photography. Yes, it is equally interesting. As I have said that every genre of photography has its own charm, has its own interest, and I would never compare that this photography or this genre of photography is more interesting than the other. No, all of them are equally important, equally interesting, and equally open to each and every one of you. Sports photography, to be more particular about, it's about action. It's about freezing action. You must have seen, like, the cricket days are going on, and you must have seen a lot of images in newspaper, and some images are really fascinating. You must be wondering as to how that the ball is completely frozen in that particular image. So it's a very interesting and it's very complicated kind of photography. You need high skill to expertise to develop your expertise in that type of photography. So friends, let me tell you that how you will start with the photography. Like as I said earlier that since the session is about becoming a better photographer, I would request you to at least become a photographer first. Try to get your basics right. Try to learn. It's a continuous process. You will never end your learning session anytime, I would say, because even in today's date also I keep on reading, I keep on evaluating new techniques, I keep on talking to my seniors, I keep on taking their tips. So it is not something that you will learn overnight, or it is not something that you will master it overnight. And it's not any academic course where you will finish one part of the course and you will be thorough with it. So photography is a continuous process. There are many academies in market where like DCP expeditions, where a lot of photo walks are being conducted. So rather than spending on a big tours, you can always connect with such forums, and you can always go on their weekly walks, which are there are many areas in many places in your areas only which you are not aware, where you can go and explore that particular thing under the guidance. So if you want to become a photographer, I would say that you should practice. You should practice more, and practice only will make you perfect. Because there are many settings. In today's date also, if I see that there are many settings in camera, there are many features in camera which people don't explore. And the key is to explore each and every feature of your camera, and only then you will have your basics right. Now, as I said earlier, that why DSLR? Why not the other? Why? What is the force that is driving you to buy DSLR? Or what kind of equipment which you will buy for the type of photography which you want to get into? Now, it's a very vast topic, and if I touch upon each and every point in detail, it will not get over, because I'll tell you, photography is something which you can talk about and which you can listen about throughout the day, throughout the week, and so on and so forth. It's never-ending process. But to guide you a bit on that, and also as I told you that many people have already started giving their questions. So the list which I receive of the questions which I receive, the basic crust of that question is how will I begin? What are the types of photography? What are the types of cameras that are available in the market? So let me tell you in detail. First, the process of selecting a camera is very crucial. What do you want to buy, a DSLR or a point and shoot? Why DSLR? Why not point and shoot? Or what is point and shoot and what is DSLR? So I'll tell you, if I give you a detailed description or detailed differentiation between those two, the DSLR and the point and shoot camera, I would say that DSLR is basically it gives you more of a, it has features like it gives you a variety of lenses. You can use variety of lenses in your camera. As against your point and shoot, because if you must have seen the point and shoot cameras, there is only one lens, and you cannot remove that lens, or you cannot have any control over that particular lens. At the same time, that single camera can give you a wide angle shot, as well as it can give you a zoom shot also. Whereas if I compare it to a DSLR, as you can see, there is a DSLR lying in front of me. So there are you have your lens, you have the lens which are separate lens available in the market. So each you can attach that lens to your camera, and for different types of photography there are different types of lens available. I will come to that point shortly, but just to tell you about the difference between DSLR and point and shoot. Yes, DSLR has an option of having varied lenses for different type of photography, whereas in point and shoot you have only one lens available. DSLR, due to the technique which is involved, due to the mechanical parts which it has, is little bulky as compared to your point and shoot camera. It has DSLR gives you complete control on your images. You will be able to shoot the way you want, the way the light is, and you will have absolute control over everything. Whereas in point and shoot, I would not say that all point and shoot cameras, but yeah, the very entry level point and shoot cameras, they will not give you any control over such thing. But there are some bridge cameras available. As we say that, as the name suggests, bridge, it's a bridge between your point and shoot and DSLR camera. So such cameras give you some control over your light and over the other features of the features that DSLR also gives. But mainly DSLR, yes, it has better control on the current lighting, and then you can set your images accordingly, set your settings and click images accordingly. If we talk about sensor, I want to tell you that the sensor is nothing but it's a chip. Like if you go back to the old film camera days, where we used to have those rolls with us, the camera roll which used to put into the camera and then used to shoot. So now in today's day, the roll is replaced by a sensor. So it is nothing but your camera roll only. So if I say that if I talk about DSLR, it has much better sensor as compared to your point and shoot. The quality of the sensor is far more better than what point and shoot gives you, and that is the reason why if you want to pursue your hobby to the next level, if you want to do a serious kind of photography, then DSLR is most required thing. Not that you cannot shoot anything with point and shoot. Yes, you can have amazing results with point and shoot, and I have seen those results in past. But then if you want to take it a step ahead, I would not say that if you cannot afford DSLR camera as of now, and if you can buy point and shoot, it's always better to begin. If you stop your process just by thinking that I don't have budget as of now and I can't buy DSLR, so that I will not go ahead with my photography, then I would request you, do not do something like this. Just if you like photography, start off with your photography. No matter what camera you have, if you can afford point and shoot cameras, you should go with it. You should start clicking. I see many people in my workshops, they come with point and shoot camera and they are doing well with that camera. So no way you should feel that your camera is less than anything else. Remember, it's always the man behind the camera which is important, or a person behind the camera which is important, and not the camera. If we move ahead with other differentiation point in DSLR and point and shoot, if I go on a technical point of view, then yes, it has greater dynamic range as far as DSLR concerned. Dynamic range is the amount of colors which a camera gives. So it's always better in your DSLR as compared to your point and shoot. Performance of ISO. This is one of the three pillars of photography which I will talk in detail as we proceed. But I'll tell you, if we are now on the topic of comparison between DSLR and point and shoot, then let me tell you that DSLR has a better ISO performance as compared to your point and shoot. What ISO performance is, we will shortly see that. Expensive, yes. Now this is the main thing which I guess everyone is worried about, and everyone is and it is a very sensitive thing that how much you should invest and where you should invest, whether you should go for a DSLR camera or not. The main driving force is the money to be invested behind it. So if I tell you DSLR camera, generally they start with the range of 30,000 and so. And your point and shoot camera will be the maximum, as I was earlier discussing about the bridge cameras, which will give you certain features like DSLR. They are little costly, up to 30-35,000, but all the other point and shoot cameras will be always less than 30,000. So I can say that they are much affordable as compared to DSLR. Now, as I was telling you that I have already received certain questions, and one of the major question in that is whether I can do photography with my mobile or not. Friends, let me tell you, in today's date, people are more fascinated by mobile photography rather than carrying those bulky DSLRs or bulky cameras with them. I would not say it is not suggested. As I was telling you earlier, just begin with your photography. Don't wait for what kind of gadgets you have. If you have mobile, you can bring amazing results with your mobile. And there are mobile cameras there are mobiles available in the market. If you see the specifications, like I know that nowadays when we buy our mobile, we read all kind of specification. And those who are more interested in doing photography on mobile, they always see what kind of features it has as compared to photography. So these days mobile cameras are very much enhanced and they give you amazing result. And I would suggest that if you can't afford point and shoot even, I would tell you that go ahead with your mobile photography, get your basics right, get your knowledge enhanced, and then gradually, as I said, that save money for that, and then definitely you will be able to buy your point and shoot and DSLR camera. So if you have mobile, don't hesitate, just go and shoot. I would also recommend that there are certain accessories available in the market for mobile photography. As if I tell you, this is a kind of lens which is available in the market on online store. You will be able to buy such kind of lenses where you have option of shooting wide angle photo and also macro photo in that. So it's just a clip kind of attachment, and you can just put it on your mobile, and it will be able to give you a wonderful result. So if you don't have money to buy point and shoot cameras, or you don't have money to buy DSLR camera, don't worry, such lenses are available at a very cheaper cost, and you can at least afford them and go ahead with your photography. As and when you progress, definitely once you develop your interest in photography, once you develop your own knowledge in the photography, as and when you progress in that, gradually you can definitely save and buy your own point and shoot or DSLR camera. To begin with, as earlier also said, don't stop, just go in the field and shoot. So till the time you don't do it, you will not be able to understand photography. If I give you my personal example, when I thought that I should start my photography, or the point when it clicked that yes, photography is something which I want to pursue my passion in, I didn't have my own camera. Very frankly, I didn't have my own camera. I started following various websites, started following various forums, as I was just now telling about one. And I just kept on following them. I just kept on reading. I made my concepts clear. I made my basics cleared. I bought my camera nearly after 6 months, 6 to 7 months after I actually thought that I should get into photography. And when I bought my camera, that time I was not aware as to what thing which I should do, the settings, and as I said, such kind of webinars and workshops will always help you. I did that, and that was the only photography workshop, and then after that, it's all the mentors who did very good handholding, and then my continuous practice. So Don't wait. Don't think that if you don't have big DSLRs, if you don't have big point and shoot cameras, you cannot shoot. You can always shoot. Use your mobile, get your basics right, read, watch a lot of videos which are available currently, and then it will always help you to pursue your hobby to a next level. Now, as I was earlier talking about the types of lenses, as one of the questions which I received, that what kind of lenses are available for different types of photography. Now, since the session, please excuse me that the session will be more on a DSLR side, little bit as far as such technicalities are concerned, like lenses and all. I know that point and shoot cameras will not have this particular functionality with them, but bear with me as I have to cater to the DSLR guys also. So we will give some kind of information on DSLR users also. So if you can see on your slide, there are different types of lenses available for different types of photography. Now, if you see the first thing, 8 mm to 24 mm. Like these are all wide angle lenses, and when you see images like landscape and some beautiful panoramas and beautiful mountains, if you see, those are all shot with this shorter focal length, and it will give you amazing look of the particular scene, and it will give you a good feel of that particular scene. Second thing is the next thing is 24 mm to 35 mm. These are also part of wide angle, generally used in interiors, architectural photography and landscapes, where you have the scene is very open. You can use these kind of lenses in that. The second is 35 mm to 85 mm. It is one of those standard lenses which people mainly use, especially 50 mm lens, which is a very popular lens, and it gives you amazing result. It is reasonable also. So I would tell you that it is a must-have lens for all photographers, because it is not that costly and it gives you amazing result. May it be your own family function, may it be your portrait shoot, may it be your outings or anything, and you will come out with the best results with that lens. So 35 mm to 85 mm is the type of lens which can be used for a general purpose, and it's a very good lens to have. Sometimes there are certain expensive lenses in the market which are surely not affordable, but then if you want to try your hand on such lenses, you can always hire them. There are places available in the market where you can hire the lenses, and you can definitely hire them, get your hands on them, and if at all you think that such lenses are good to invest, then you can buy such lenses. The other part of the lenses are 85 mm to 135 mm. Now, this is again a very good lens if suppose you are going out for say some family outing, or say a tour where more of landscape is available. At the same time, people photography is also available. So here you can use this lens to shoot portraits, shoot candid, as well as some wide angle shot. So it falls between short telephoto lens and you next level, which is 135 mm to 300 mm. Now these are we are now graduating to a level wherein most of the time wildlife photography come into play, and sports photography come into play, wherein you require a little bit more focal length, and in such point of time you have these lenses between 135 mm to 300 mm. Then the last thing, if you can see, these are all 300 mm plus lenses. Very good lens as far as sports and wildlife photography is concerned, birding especially, mammals, anything. You will have wonderful results with such lenses. Little bit costly, or I would say very costly as far as their glass quality is concerned. So if you want to invest in them, you need to think twice before investing them. As I suggested, higher lens. There are agencies, as I was earlier telling you about, forums such as GCB Expeditions. They do have rentals available, so you can rent your lenses from various agencies like this. So I would not tell you to go and invest money in the market or in these lenses till the time you are comfortable about it. Go hire the lenses, get your hands on them, and then you can decide which area of photography you want to pursue your hobby next, or you want to take it to the next level. Like if you begin with the photography, the lenses which we get along with the camera, which we generally call the kit lens. It is 1855 lens or 18135 lens, or so on and so forth. Such lenses will give you a variety, which will give you option on using a lot of various genres of photography, like wildlife, like street, candid, and landscape. All kind of photography are possible with these kind of kit lenses. So get your hands on these lenses, and then once you think that out of these particular areas I am more interested in pursuing my hobby in wide angle lenses, in landscape, so you can then invest in some dedicated wide angle lenses like 1116 mm, then 1840, 2470. These kind of lenses which will give you good control over this type of photography. If you want to get into a complete portrait and wedding thing, and you are very much fascinated by them, then some lenses like 85 mm, 35 mm, 50 mm, then your 7200 lens, it bit costly, but these will give you amazing result with this kind of photography. If you feel that you want to get into wildlife photography, then I would say then for wildlife photography, since it's a very wide area of photography, all kind of lenses will be helpful for you, like from 18 mm till 500, 600 mm, depending on what kind of photography in wildlife photography you want to do. Like if suppose you are interested in more into macro photography is something where, as the name suggests, we are looking at a very tiny subjects, at a very small subjects which are not visible to your open eyes. For them, there are specific macro lenses available in the market which gives you amazing magnification, amazing details. So such lenses are dedicated for this kind of photography in wildlife photography. As far as birding is concerned, it is a very costly affair, and the lenses which are above 300 mm, 400 mm, prime lenses, are good to go with birding. But yes, there are some other lenses available also in the market like 150, 600 and 100, 400 mm. These lenses will give you good control over your birding as well as mammal, and very affordable as compared to the prime lenses, and you can definitely go with them. But as I said, think what exactly you want to do, get your basics right, try pursuing more and more into getting your technicalities right, because till the time you don't make your basics strong, till the time you don't practice, you will not understand as to in which area you are doing better. So keep on clicking, go spend more time in the field, and you will yourself understand as to where I want to go further, and which photography is something which is something which I like. So the questions which I've received till now is again, what kind of photography should I go, and what kind of photography should I pursue with. It is not something which I will tell you as to, okay, you go with wildlife, you go with street, you go with portrait. No, it is not like that. It is something which you will explore on yourself, and as and when you progress, you will come to know on your own as to which area you want to pursue it further, which area you want to take it to the next level. As I was telling you earlier that since this particular session is about becoming a better photographer, and I said that to become a better photographer you need to be a photographer first. So which includes your basics, which includes your other understanding about the topic. Now most of the time even these are kind of questions, or these are kind of doubts which I also have in my mind, wherein I have to, I come across some areas where my images are blurry. I'm in a restaurant, you must have come across this particular error or maybe issue where you are in a restaurant in a confined environment and you're shooting, everything is coming yellow. So why does it come? So it has got more to do with your white balance. You need to check your white balance. I cannot go into the detail about white balance, but you can read more about it, and you will come to know. The main thing about having your images blurry is something which you need to understand about the basics, which we will just get into it. We will just touch upon that topic, and I guess once we are through with it, you will be able to actually analyze as to why these questions were arising and how I will overcome on these questions. Now, as I was telling you, the basics of photography. The basics of photography is you must have heard about it, the triangle of photography, the three pillars of photography, the three elements of photography. So what are these three elements? This is nothing but this is something which is very basic but very essential, which every photographer should understand. And till the time you don't get your understanding about these three elements right, I'm telling you, you will not be able to proceed further. Now we will go into these areas in detail, and I'm sure that after this you will have your understanding very much in place about these three elements. Now, if I say aperture is something which is which will control how much amount of light which should fall on sensor. Which is, if you can see on your screen, you can see both the screens of both the brands which are available in the market. You can see it is denoted with F number. Like on the right hand side there is f8.0, on your left hand side it is f5.6. So aperture is something, it is the opening of the lens, and it controls how much light should fall on your sensor. So if I tell you more in detail about it, as a diagram, you can see the diagram on your screen. f1.4 is something the widest aperture. Now you will ask me, the aperture is wide and how come the number is small? So it is always denoted with the smaller number means the wide aperture, and the large number means the narrow aperture. So if you see on the screen, f1.4 is the widest aperture, f2, f2.8, f4, and as and when the number goes on increasing, the size of the aperture goes down. What it does, it actually it is allowing the wider the aperture, the more light will come into your sensor, and the narrower the aperture, less amount of light will fall on your sensor. If I give you a very basic example of aperture, and if you want to relate it to your day-to-day life, I would just tell you that just go out open in a sunny day and look at the sun. You will not be able to look at the sun with your eyes wide open. Why? Because there is a lot of light and you need to narrow down your eyes. I mean, you will have to actually shrink it to see what is happening. You will not be able to see it with your wide eyes open. At the same time, if suppose you are looking at something in the dark, in night, you will have to keep your eyes wide open to see. So in other words, when the light is more, you want less light to come in, and so that is the same technicality with your aperture. That the smaller the aperture, the less light will come in, and again the higher the aperture, more light will come in. Now, aperture also controls your depth of field. Depth of field is something. It's a very interesting and a very essential topic in terms of photography. It is something. Depth of field is the sharpest area in your photograph, in your image. If you see this particular image in front of you, you can see the butterfly which is appearing very sharp, but the background which is appearing very blurred. So if you see from the head of the butterfly till the last tip of the tail, you will see everything sharp, but then after that everything is appearing blur. So it is called a very shallow depth of field. Now aperture controls the depth of field. Like if suppose you want to shoot such kind of images where you want to have a shallow depth of field, it has to be on a very wide aperture. So if in this case it was shot at f2.8, which is a wider one. Now, if you keep your aperture wide open, you will have a very shallow depth of field. That means most of the area of your image will be blur. But as against that, if you shoot something at a very narrow aperture, most of the area will be seen in your photograph. Like in this particular image, you can see now, earlier when the leaf was not visible clearly, the leaf which was behind, now it is clearly visible because it is shot at f13, which is a very narrow aperture. So aperture controls amount of light which is coming onto your sensor and controls depth of field. So narrower the aperture, your depth of field will be wide, and shallow and wider the aperture, your depth of field will be very much shallow. Now the second element, which is again, as I said, all three elements are equally important and they are key elements in your photography. The second element which comes in is the shutter speed. Now shutter speed is something which controls the amount of time. It is actually it's controlling the time for which the light will fall on your sensor. Aperture will give you what amount of light coming in, whereas shutter speed will tell you for what duration you want that light to fall on your sensor. So again, if you can see on your screen, there is something denoted as 1/25 and 1/30 on your left hand side. So that is the shutter speed. It is always measured in the proportion. It's denoted as 1/10 of a second. So for instance, it is 1/2s, 1/4s. So higher the denominator value is something which we always look at. Higher the denominator, lesser will be the duration of the light falling on the sensor. Like if suppose your shutter speed is high, like 1/100, 1/200. So that means your shutter, your opening of the shutter is open for a very shorter period of time. So that means very low light will fall on your sensor. As against to that, if suppose your shutter is open for a longer duration, then more light will come on your sensor. And why and how that will, what kind of photography, for what kind of photography you require high shutter speed, for what kind of photography you require slow shutter speed is something very interesting. Like the questions which I've received is that how will I shoot in my low light condition, or how will I shoot with my night photography. So shutter speed is something which is very essential for shooting such kind of tricky images. Now I'll explain you more in terms of images as far as shutter speed is concerned. You can see this particular image where you can see waves. Those are not, if you look at those waves, they will appear more on a milky side, but not that milky also. So the shutter speed was only 2 seconds for this. So the shutter was open for 2 seconds, and in 2 seconds, lot of amount of light went into it, which actually forced that particular water. It could not freeze the water, but the water was very milky. You will see a milky effect in that. Again, the same thing. This particular image where you will see a very milky effect in that particular water, and even the sky pattern, you can see that it has that blurry effect. So it is achieved by keeping your shutter open for a longer period of time. So for such kind of photography, you deliberately require your shutter speed to be very low. But having said that, when you are shooting such kind of photography, when you want your shutter to be open for a longer period of time, you require something to hold your camera very steady, and it is nothing best than a tripod which will help you keep your camera steady and shoot these kind of images. Now, as against this, as I was telling you that higher shutter speed is required to freeze your subject. Now you can see that the shutter speed is very high, 1/3200 second. So it is a very, very small fraction of second for which the shutter is open. And such kind of shutter speed is required when you want to freeze your subject, when you want to, as I was earlier telling you about the sports photography, I was telling you the example of the ball which is static on the image. You can see that actually the ball is you can capture the ball in that particular image. Then how it is done? It is done with such kind of high shutter speed. Again, this image will tell you as to how your image should be if you want, how your shutter speed should be if you want these kind of images. The 1/5000 second is a very high shutter speed, and this bird you can see it's a sting, and it's a very fast moving bird, and you require high shutter speed to freeze this particular action in air. Now the third element which is there in the photography is ISO. A very interesting topic. ISO is something which will tell you how sensitive your sensor is about the light. Now on your camera screen you can see that on your right hand side ISO 3200. That is how the ISO is denoted on this particular screen. On your left hand side you can see ISO 100 which is written. So ISO is something which has got to do with the sensitivity of the light, of your sensitivity of your sensor to the amount of light which is falling in. Now how will that appear? See, when you have a low light and your sensor and your ISO is also very low, in that case your camera will not be much sensitive to the light. Your sensor will be less sensitive to the light, and which will result in a very dark images. Your camera is not understanding what kind of light is following, because the ISO level is very low and your sensor is very less sensitive to the amount of light which is coming in. It will not act much to that particular light. See, your camera understands that it has to give you a better exposed images. So to understand camera what kind of exposure you want, you need to tell that I need these particular images with this particular setting. Now if you shoot your images with low ISO, and especially in the low light condition, like there is maybe if you can consider a very early morning light before sunrise and after sunset. So these type of in this kind of environment, the light which you are getting, your sensor is capturing is very low, and in that time if the sensor itself is very less sensitive to that light, it will not act much and it will not give you good images. At the same time, if you set your ISO high, it will be very sensitive. The moment it sees the light and it sees the ISO level which you have mentioned, it will immediately perform its job to boost the exposure of the image, and you will get correctly exposed image. If I tell you the pictorial example of this particular image is little dark, if you can see, which is shot at ISO like 100. That's the lowest ISO level which is available. Now if you move further, see the image, it is little brightened, and at what ISO it is shot? 800. Now that means if suppose you are in a low light condition, as the question was there earlier that how to shoot in low light condition, you need to control that with your ISO. But will that suffice? Will that be the best option? I would say not always, because with a higher amount of ISO comes a very big enemy of photography, which is called a noise. So to describe noise, you can see on your screen, like let me tell you that each and every image has little bit of noise. Noise is a little specks which you will see on your image. When you shoot any image in a low light condition or by boosting your ISO, you will see these kind of small speck in your images. This is nothing but a noise. So the more ISO you set, the more noise will come into your image, and that will spoil your image. So in order to have a better image, better exposed image without having this noise, then you need to control all the three parameters which are available with you, like your aperture, like your shutter speed and your ISO, in such a way that you will get a best image, and at the same time the image quality is also maintained. Now if I sum it up, it is denoted by an exposure triangle. Now you can see on your image in your screen, this is the best way the combination of ISO, shutter speed and aperture can be explained, because each and every parameter is important in its own, and if suppose you can't control that particular parameter, you will not have a better exposure image. So if suppose you are in a low light condition, you need to have a good amount of ISO. So ISO will boost the image exposure, but again it will introduce noise. So to reduce that, shoot at low ISO, but keep your shutter speed little low. or open your aperture wide and you will get best images in your camera. Now there are different, if you see, there are different modes in your camera available. These are basically, the camera company gives it for different types of images which you want to take. Like you can see, this is full auto mode, which I was telling you, it's strictly no if you want to begin photography with a passion and with something different intention in your mind. Come out of this auto mode, because it's nothing, you are not doing anything, your camera is doing anything. And if your camera has to do photography, then let it do photography on its own. Why are you doing photography? So strictly no to auto mode. The second thing is full manual mode, wherein you control everything, like aperture, shutter speed, ISO, everything you control, and by understanding the existing light, and then you get out with a correct image. The next is semi-automatic mode, which are different mode given by your camera, like shutter priority mode, your aperture mode. These modes will give you control on one important thing, and then the rest of the things camera will control. But the actual control is still with you. And the third things are scene modes. Scene modes are, I would not say that these are bad, but again I would say that do not depend on these kind of mode, because this is again, I would say these are more on an auto mode, wherein you are telling your camera that I want to shoot landscape image. So landscape image camera will itself adjust all its setting and all its parameters and give you the image. If you want to shoot sports, it will automatically boost shutter speed to have those frozen actions, and it will give you an image. So these things, definitely your camera company gives you these kind of modes, but I would suggest try to stick to the semi-automatic or fully manual mode, so that you will have better control on your images. As I was telling you, aperture priority mode, which will enable user to set its own aperture. If suppose you will decide what aperture you want, and the camera and ISO you want, camera will decide what shutter speed you will get. So in good lighting condition, if you set aperture, it will give you good shutter speed. The second thing is shutter priority mode, which is in which you set your own shutter speed and ISO. The camera will determine the aperture on its own. Most of the time, sports photography are done on this kind of setting, because you need to determine your shutter speed so that you will get those actions when the moment is completely frozen. The manual, as I said, that everything you decide, and your camera will give you exposure, but then in that you have to be very much particular about what settings you are using. The perfect amount of aperture setting, ISO setting, and shutter speed will give you a good image. So if you are very well versed and if you want to explore this, you can definitely explore this particular mode. As I was telling you about the auto exposure modes, which camera allows, the portrait mode, landscape mode, sports and action, auto. These are, I would say that these are something which you can definitely, to practice, you can begin with. See, if you want to shoot a portrait wherein you want a very shallow depth of field, you want the background to be blur. So camera, you're telling camera that I want portrait. So it will definitely wide open your aperture and give you good result. At the same time, if you want to shoot a landscape where you want a very wide depth of field, where you want very large depth of field, wherein camera itself will set the aperture to a very narrow level, and it will give you good images in that scale. But I would suggest that rather than going for this mode, since you know your camera, you explore the other modes like shutter priority mode and aperture mode and manual mode more, rather than going for these particular modes. Now, if I tell you if I go ahead and tell you that till now we have seen the basics of photography, what all technicalities involved in making better images, and a lot of things which are available in the market. Now, once you have all of them, once you know all these things, now we will come to a topic that how you will become a better photographer. So, as I was telling, it is not an overnight process. It is something wherein you have to concentrate more on your work, on your studies, and then accordingly you will go ahead with it. So do your work with dedication, commitment, and passion. Get your basics right. Yes, this is the very important thing, and you should concentrate on this more and more. Be friend with your camera. Let me tell you, my friend, your camera is your best friend, and you need to be friends with it. So if you want your camera to give you optimum result, treat it like your friend, and it will give you optimum result. And how you will treat it like a friend, you will know more and more out of it. You will, as you know your best friend in real life, that you know more. You know a lot of things about your best friend, and that will help you understand your friend better. It's the same way that you be friend with your camera, understand what it has in it for you, and you will be able to get most out of it, and that will consider as a very good companionship, I tell you. Trial and error. It is the best. You will not, as I was telling you, it is not something overnight. You will not get best result in one go. You need to have a better control on your settings. You need to have better understanding about all the processes, and that will only happen if you go out in field, if you do trial, if you do errors, then only you will be able to learn. Otherwise, it is not something that you will open your book, you will study and go in the field, come out with one single best image. No, it is not like that. Keep evaluating yourself. The more and more you will evaluate yourself, you will understand the photography in much more better way. Learn intricacies. There are certain terms which you will not understand, for which you want someone to tell you as to where you are going wrong. So keep sharing your work. Let people criticize it. You will understand better about it. Composition is the key, friends. Till the time your images don't talk to your viewers, you will not be able to connect with them, and you will not be able to make better images. So compose your image in a very better way. Read more about composition. You will understand as to what kind of composition you will require in your particular images, and make sure that you get all these basics right, and in that way only you will be able to master those particular rules. So till the time you don't master them, don't even dare to break the rules, because the rules are meant for making your basics right. So make your rules, make your basics right, and you will definitely master them. I have received certain questions, very good questions, that like cleaning your camera. Yes, I was just telling you that your camera is your best friend, and you need to treat your camera in a better way. So cleaning is the main part which you should look into, and for that you require, there are cleaning kits available in the market, and you should take good care about your camera. First of all, since the monsoon days are arriving, it leads to a lot of, you will always experience a lot of moisture in the air, and that will lead to, there are possibilities that your camera might catch fungus. So you need to clean your camera very perfectly. You need to keep it in a very dry space, and then accordingly you will be able to keep it perfect. Cleaning kit, like there are lens cleaners available. You need to clean your lens also. That will help you understand that such kits are available there in the market, and there are videos available which will let you know as to how to clean your camera, and go through such videos. Never try to touch your sensor, please, because the moment you will open your DSLR cap and you will try to fiddle with your mirror and sensor, it is gone. Don't do that. So if at all your camera is not giving good images, if it is malfunctioning, show it to your authorized service center, and they will get it clean for you. So as far as, try to clean your equipment, try to blow dry air on it, and try to get it to the same room temperature which it has, and it will help you clean your camera. There are silicone pouches available in the market which are good for keeping your camera dry. So keep such pouches with you, keep it in your bag, keep it in your dry box, and that will help you maintain your camera. The next question, which is very interesting, that how will I start earning from the photography? My friend, please don't look into that aspect in beginning itself. because if you begin with your photography with earning intention, then your intention of learning photography will be deviated, and don't do that. Get your basics right, start working, spend maximum time in the field, try showcasing your work to the forums available, and definitely you will get noticed and you will start getting work if at all you want to get into the commercial aspect of the photography. So as of now, I would not say that begin your photography with the intention of earning. So just go ahead with your photography and you will earn it. As I was telling you about the dedication, commitment and passion, you will not get results unless you actually go out of your way to click images. In this image, if you can see that I was lying down on the floor and I was clicking a bird. You can see the images of the bird which you can see on the screen. Completely different. Had I been taking the images right standing, the images wouldn't have been that impressive. So you have to go out of your way to click images. Now, the main thing is shoot at eye level. You should always shoot at eye level. Only then you will get such kind of results. It makes a lot of difference while shooting from the eye level. Now, such techniques you will learn by practice. Like I got a question that if there are any schools available for photography, there are any training institutes available for photography. Yes, there are. As I was earlier telling you about DCP expeditions, they have good programs available for beginners as well as for intermediate learners. It's very good. You should take help of such institute. You should learn from them, and they such kind of institute always provide good handholding. So that will always help you in achieving good results in your photography. You will see your progress on your own. Be a little creative in the field. You will achieve extraordinary results if you be a little creative in the field. So try to be a little creative. Try to explore more and more things in the field. And yes, if you are a photographer, please be alert. Please be alert. You never know what action you will miss, and you will have to capture all such actions. Like in this photograph, there are two elephants. I don't know whether you'll be able to notice. These two elephants were playing with each other, and this particular moment I clicked it, and it will give you a complete illusion as to no one will come to know as to these are two elephants. Wait for that particular opportunity in the field. You never know when you will be rewarded with a very good shot. This shot was published in BBC Wildlife magazine. Now, many times I get like today also I got a question like, what are the good locations for shooting tigers in Maharashtra? Tiger is a very, I mean, we all love tiger. That is a kind of animal which always fascinates you to go, and it always attracts you to go to jungles. Maharashtra, yes, the main tiger reserve which we have is Tadova Andhari Tiger Reserve. It's located at Chandrapur, and you can visit that park the park is open from October to June. In monsoon also it is open, but it is the best time to visit that park is summer, because that is the time when you will see maximum sighting. Obviously, no one will guarantee you tiger in the tiger reserve. It's their own home and they will come out whenever they want. But yeah, in Maharashtra, if I put it on the top, it is Tadova Andhari Tiger Reserve. Then you have Umred Karanla Tiger Reserve also, which is also coming up very fast as far as tiger sighting is concerned. So you should visit those kind of locations. Now, the one more interesting question which I have received is reversing ring, good alternative for macro lens. it is good alternative, but I would say that as I was telling you, that practice it. Even if you can achieve, if you are using your kit lens, you will achieve good results from it. Reversing technique is something wherein you are actually manually handling your lens, keeping it out. There are various reverse ring adapter available in the market wherein you will attach your lens and take the exposure. I would say it is sometimes it gives you very amazing result which even a macro lens cannot give, but it requires practice. You will not master it overnight. So if you want to use that technique, I would not say that it is an alternative to macro lens. Of course, macro lens is something which is give you very good result, but reverse ring technology is something which is again a unique in its own kind. You have to master. For getting magnification is good option, but it requires more practice and you need to master that particular technology so as to get very good images. The second question which I again received is which type of lens is good for bird. See, as I was telling you that birds are always, you cannot go closer to the bird. Birds are something which is which are very fast in their action, which are very quick, and you cannot make them sit for you. They will come, they will sit, and they will go. So you need to have a faster lenses, like a lens which have wide aperture, like there are some expensive lenses, telephoto zoom lenses available, super telephoto lenses available of 400 mm f2.8, 600 mm f4. These lenses are very fast, and these lenses are used for clicking birds. So as I said, very costly lenses, so you should hire them, get your hands on, and then only think of investing in those kind of lenses. If I come back to my slide, as I said, learn to be alert. You will always be rewarded with some amazing images like this. You need to have connection with your subject. Again, this is again a continuation of being alert. This image I got at Ranthambore Tiger Reserve, and it was amazing experience for me because I was looking at tiger from my viewfinder, and it was a very thrilling moment that I could capture this. Having eye contact with your subject is something which will give you outstanding images, and you will never forget such kind of scenes also and such images also. The moment you will see your images, it will actually take you back to the scene when you actually clicked it. Now in this image you can see that both the cubs and mother, all are looking into the lens at the same time. Now I will tell you, I like to mention here, friends, this is the image which has won the first prize in ICICI Live Your Passion contest, which was held just now. And I'll tell you, this image was shot on a very basic kit lens. No special lens, no camera was used to click this image. So don't underestimate your kit lens also. Don't underestimate the level of camera which you are using. You can shoot any kind of images. As I was telling, it's the man behind the camera which is important, the person behind camera which is important, and not the lens, not the equipment. Light is the key, friends. Understand that light, whether it is natural light or artificial light, you need to control, you need to learn how to control it, and then only you will be able to come out with some maximum awesome results. See, evening time, such wonderful silhouettes you will get if you use your light correctly. So it's not that low light condition you will not shoot. You will get to have a lot of opportunities in low light also where you can shoot such kind of images. So friends, I would like to thank all of you for attending this particular webinar, and I'm sure that it must have helped you in some or the other way. If you have any queries, you can write to me on my Gmail ID, which is ashutoshshindephotography@gmail.com. You can connect with me on my Facebook page, and you can connect with me on Instagram also. Also, I would like to again reiterate that Live Your Passion is a very good initiative by ICICI Bank, and you should get in touch with you should check their website. There are a lot of areas available on that website. And I had actually kept this question at the end. One of the question, very interesting question which I received, that how will I convince my parents I want to go get into photography. My friend, I'll tell you, don't think that your parents will not be convinced. They are equally happy for you if you do something good in your photography, in your any kind of area. But you need to be very serious about it. So if you want to get into photography, start shooting. If you don't have camera, as I told you, start shooting with your mobile. Start presenting your work. Your parents will definitely come to know that the boy is having great future in this, and they will definitely listen to you. Parents are not that cunning, my friend. They will always help you. But you need to have, it's you who will have to put in your 99% of effort. 1% definitely parent will definitely help you. So study to get your basics right. Right, go out in field, shoot. There are unlimited opportunities available in the field, and you never know what will fascinate you, what kind of photography you will connect with, and you will come out with awesome results. So guys, with this I would like to thank you, and it was really wonderful to have you as my audience, and I'm sure it must have helped you. Do get in touch with me for any future doubts, and it's a big day. It's India-Pakistan match today, so enjoy your match, enjoy your day, and yes, a very happy Father's Day to every one of you, and goodbye friends. Good morning friends, and a very happy good morning for this Sunday to you. Today we are here on a very interesting webinar, which is on an equally interesting topic called how to become a better photographer. First of all, let me thank ICICI Bank for this lovely initiative called Live Your Passion. It's an amazing initiative by ICICI Bank wherein people who want to pursue their passion, who want to go ahead with their passion, it's a very good platform, and I would request everyone to log on to their site on Live Your Passion and check whatever passion you have and pursue your interest in that. So to begin with, let me introduce myself. My name is Ashutosh Shinde. I am based out of Mumbai, and banker as a professional and photographer as a passion. So I've been doing photography, especially wildlife photography and nature conservation photography from last 4 years, and it has been wonderful journey so far. People always ask me as to what is the journey so far, how it has been, and let me tell you that continuous practice and continuous handholding from my mentors. I am very much thankful to all my mentors. So that has helped me a lot, and photography, as you know, that it's not a process where you will finish your learning in some stipulated time. It's a continuous process. So I'm still learning, and so far it has been a great journey. So friends, let me begin with this very interesting session called how to become a better photographer. The term better photographer itself is a very interesting, and you must have seen that there are in today's day many people who want to pursue their hobby in photography, and they are doing so very passionately, and I would always encourage them that the passion should not die and they should live it to the longest. First of all, thanks again to all the viewers, because even before the webinar start, I am already having lots of questions from all the participants. So I will try my level best to answer each one of them, not completely, but I'll try my level best to finish all the questions and give you the best answer as to the best of my ability. Now, if you can see your slide, it says want to become a photographer. You must have that question. The presentation and the webinar is about how to become a better photographer. And is there any typo on this slide? No, there is no typo. So let me tell you, friends, to become a better photographer, you first need need to be a good photographer, you need to be a photographer first. So